Hey guys, my name is Agenta.1 and yeah, I just made a sample pack. So today I'm going to give you guys an inside look into the sample pack so that you have a bit more of an idea of yeah, what you're getting. So yeah, let's get started straight away. All right, so the sample pack is structured in 6/7 folders. There is a bonus folder which is included in the full version of the sample pack. All right, let's just start off with the bases. This is subcategorized into 5 folders: Additive and Subtractive, Others, Reeses, Wavetable, and Weaponry. This is essentially my entire folder for additive synthesis, and there is a lot of stuff, as you can see. Here are a few examples of the phaser bases that I have. The reason why I have far too many of them is because I kind of figured out that additive/subtractive synthesis works perfectly for resampling, and I've been mainly using this exact folder for resampling into stuff like Serum or Vital or back into Harmor itself. Oh yeah, right, I also made some stuff with Razor as well. Here are just a few examples. Alright, so next up we have the Other folder. The Other folder. And this is basically kind of like a collection of experimental bases that I couldn't really categorize into any other of the 4 categories. So yeah, for example, I have some granulized bases. I also attempted to make some neuro bases. Yeah, as you can see, they're not exactly neuro bases. They're very, very experimental, but they kind of go into that direction. So yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff for a lot of experimentation, right? Oh yeah, we also have my interpretation of what happens if I delete System32. Anyways, the Reeses folder is very much self-explanatory. It's just a bunch of Reeses that I accumulated throughout the years. I've got some very long stems, and then what I usually do is when I need a very specific part, I usually take a sample, take a very short amount, and then I just try to find the perfect spot. That's how I usually work with those very long and stretched out samples. But we also got some one-shots, for example, these ones. Very thick Reeses. Very, very thick Reeses. Next up, the Wavetable folder. Basically, it's everything when I use Vital or Serum, basically. And it's also kind of the results that I get from, resampling the entirety of the additive and subtractive synthesis folder. For example, these guys. Nice. We also have that one Sky Growl from Memory Lane. God damn it, that growl is what, 2 years old? I have no clue how I synthesized that. It's insane. Oh, and my favorite section of that is actually everything that I did with Vital. Vital is a goddamn powerhouse. And this section definitely shows. I got some very nice results out of that. So yeah, next up, Weaponry. Basically my thought process was, if it sounds like it's being shot from a weapon, then it goes over there. Yeah, again, you have an entire arsenal of that. One thing, I'm not entirely sure if I could show that in the demo track, but I also made a few machine guns, which were, yeah, they were inspired by the genre of deathstep. If you know deathstep, then you might like those basses. Yeah, that was just my best attempt at making those, like, very nice machine guns. I like this one. I like this one specifically. Yeah. That was the bassist folder. Onto the drums. First up, cymbals. We got like a handful of cymbals, a few closed hi-hats that I use occasionally now and then. A few crashes as well. A few more experimental-ish type of open hi-hats. And of course, rides. Very nice. I also got a few drum fills as well. So yeah, just to add a bit of rhythm to your sections, it's very nice. Next up, kicks. We got like a variety of kicks. And we got like an entire spectrum of them. We got like zappy kicks, very thick ones. We got some like very clicky ones as well. We got some soft ones as well. You know, depending on your taste. There you go, you have an entire arsenal of kicks. Next up, percussion. This is more experimental. I didn't like try to like mimic a certain percussion. It was just a bunch of experimenting, trying to like combine stuff together, and I think it turned out pretty interesting. For example, I got this like very liquid clap. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, also what I did was I did this, and I turned it into a sample. Nice. Very, very nice. Also some like normal rim shots, if you want to. And also some snaps. What's also cool, especially this snap right here, is that some of them are actually very much tonal, so you can use them in your melodies. Yeah, very practical, very nice. Next up, the snares. So we start up with a few like distorted percussion snares. And then we have a variety of, yeah, basically pan snares is like the best way to describe them. So yeah, you have an entire arsenal of those pan snares, and they are very thick, nice, and big. Yeah, like, yeah, you have a very huge arsenal of snares. And what I also tried to do was try to make like fully synthetic snares, like just using serum to make snares. So yeah, you have an entire arsenal of snares as well. Next up, effects. Now, we're starting off very big with the Foley folder. So what I basically did was I made a recording session, and like I just took stuff from my room and yeah, I compiled them all, and I ended up with like, what? Yeah, 124 samples of pure Foley. So like, you got like glassy stuff, you got paper as well. It's like raspy bits as well. I got some like stuff in my pocket. But yeah, having a Foley folder like this is actually quite nice, because if you need some texture on a specific section, you can just, you know, go over here, just search up any kind of sound and be like, oh yeah, I like that one. So we just use it like that. It's very practical. Next up, we got some glitches as well. We've got a whole variety as well. Like we got very aggressive ones. We got some more calmer ones as well, I think. Yes. Like they're more like ambiental. There's some very aggressive ones as well. I also made some granulized ones. Next up, we also got some impacts. Very nice, big ones. And also some very low ones, you know? It's pretty useful. Oh yeah, and also on the impacts folder, we also have sub drops. I didn't really know where to categorize them, so I just put them in there. I'm not really someone who like makes risers or like plays around with like white noise risers or ups or downs. So what I did was I just like compiled everything that was like kind of noisy, and I put it in there. Like for example, I have this riser right there. Kind of sounds like an engine revving up. We also got some like ambiances, like for example this, metallic rain. Or, you know, space. We got a lot of space samples in here, that's for sure. They can sometimes be like very creepy as well. But yeah, we also got some like traditional types of white noise downers. And also samples going up as well. Yeah, once again, you have an entire variety over here. And the last one is kind of like the Foley folder, but instead it's actually field recordings. So what I did was I took my phone, which already has like a very good microphone, and I already like recorded some stuff from nature. So yeah, for example, we have some field ambiances. Like, you know, just being in a forest as well. So yeah, the effects folder is very useful for when you want to add like either texture or like a lot of depth as well onto your tracks. Next up is the leads folder. Now this one's interesting for well anyone who is, you know, working with melodies and whatnot. Like for example, we have some Arps. I took some like ARP progressions from my tracks, and here they are. So yeah, next up we have bell samples, and these ones are actually quite useful. I synthesized them myself. As you can see, they're all tuned to C, because the idea is you take this one, and then you just play around with your melody. I cannot really play, I don't really have a keyboard. But yeah, you also have like a variety of them. I also got different stuff here, for example this one. Yeah, also some experimental stuff as well. For example, this one. That's very nice. So yeah, they're very cool. We have bell trees. Now what these are, or how I usually use those trees, is for like melodic transitions onto like a different section. That's how I personally use them. So for example, we have this. As you can see, they kind of have like an impact to them, so that they can like give out a proper transition, right? But they can also be used totally like ambiental as well. Next up, we have a few like phrases. For example, this one's from the demo track. Yeah, very ambiental. We also got some flute. That's a little too loud. We got a few flutes as well. Next up, we have the Orchestral folder. So yeah, the Orchestral folder is more of like a collection of stems of all the orchestral sections that I used in my tracks. There are a few like phrases, there are a few like progressions, a few one-shots, but the idea is basically I want to see if someone who uses the Orchestral folder can try to be a bit more experimental when using all those stems. So for example, we have a few like sustains, for example. Let me turn this on up a little bit. We also have a few choirs. Again, either phrases or ambiences as well. We also have some horns as well. The most filled folder is the strings. This one's the most, yeah, this one's probably the biggest folder of them all. And again, you have a lot of stuff. We also have like a few ambiences. A few swells as well. Last but not least, we have the paths folder. Probably my favorite folder, because there's just a lot of stuff that yeah, definitely brings a lot of life to, well, my tracks. And especially if you like color bass, you're definitely gonna like this folder, because again, you have a lot of pads with a lot of variety. And yeah, let me just show you what I have here. For example, we have a few Reeses pads, which, by the way, the Reeses pads, I actually have a tutorial on how to make those with Harmor. So if you haven't checked it, I think there should be an eye icon somewhere around here, or just check out my channel and you'll find it pretty quickly. I also made some granularized pads. So it's basically pads that have kind of like a very interesting texture. So yeah, one of my favorite sections of the pads folder are the pulse stretched pads, because what I basically do with those is I take one of my tracks and I basically pulse stretch it and I just add reverb to it, and I always get like a very unique result. Right? Like sometimes I get like very, very big pads, but sometimes I also get like very, very ambiental pads that just sound beautiful. And these pads definitely help me a lot in like trying to fill out a certain section of a track of mine. So yeah, these are gonna come in very, very handy. We also have, as I mentioned, a few Reeses pads right there. So yeah, very nice. A lot of like very sparkly textures. And yeah, as I said again, I've made a tutorial on that, so check out my channel. Check out my channel if you want to see that video. And yeah, some are like very, very long, so you can definitely play around a little bit with the length. But yeah, that has been basically it for the Astra Samplepack. So yeah, if you guys are interested in the sample pack, then I will leave the Gumroad page in the description down below. You have a few buying options. You can buy the entire pack for 25 bucks, or you can also buy the folders that I showed right now separately. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I would really appreciate it if you would buy the sample pack. I'll leave the link down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. See you later.